Good morning. So today in this video we will be discussing everything about Matplotlib, plotting line chart, bar graphs, pie chart with it, and how to plot double bar graph using NumPy and Matplotlib, and how to get started with it, all the softwares that we need, offline softwares and online interpreter that we can use. So let's get started. So to get started, we need an online interpreter that's free of cost. So for that, we'll be using trinket.io that is available on Chrome, and that's a free of cost Python interpreter that has Matplot library and PyCharm installed in it. After this, you will get a home page where you can access various types of coding interpreters: Python, Python 3, Pygame, Java. For now, we'll be using Python 3 interpreter for our Matplotlib library and PyCharm project. The link for the same trinket.io will be given in the description below. The first step is importing the Matplotlib library in our Python project, because for data visualization we'll be using Matplotlib library. So first we'll import Matplotlib library and name that Matplotlib library. I will import it, import matplot library dot pyplot as s. I have imported Matplotlib library and given its name as s. After importing the Matplotlib library, we can make many charts with it. That is, one is bar graph, line chart, and pie chart with it. So first we'll work with line chart. So program for line chart is s.plot. S is the name that you gave to your Matplotlib library, and plot is for plotting the line chart. So I'll plot a simple line chart for you. That would be s.plot. We'll keep two values in x-axis and we'll keep two values in y-axis. So after s.plot, we need to open round brackets and we need to enter the data. In round brackets, I'll create two dictionaries to add the data. I'll create two lists to add the data. One list would be 12 comma 34, and another list would be, that would be the y-axis, that would be uh, 45 comma 67. So now the data is plotted, but it will not show here because we have not used the show program. The data will be processed and line chart would be formed, but in order to see that data in a visual form, we need to add the program s.show s.show, and we need to add open and closed round brackets. Now you can see the data plotted here. Now this was the basic plotting of the data, but our data that is plotted in form of line chart looks incomplete, and anybody that would see this data would be unable to understand what the data is. So in order to know what the data is, we can add the x labels and y labels and also the title of the project. So we'll add the x label. That code for that would be s dot x label, then round brackets, and here we need to add the name of the x label in double inverted commas. That would be student age, and in same way we can add y label. That would be s dot y label, in round brackets we'll add age. Now you can see the labels would be added. See, on x-axis we have the age and here we have the student name. Same way we can add the title of the project. That would be s dot title, and the name would be student chart. Here you can see student chart, age, and student age. So now let's see how we can add the legend to the table. In order to add the legend, we need to give the label to the line that is plotted. So we'll give it a label, that is label is equal to, the name would be enclosed in double inverted commas. So I'll give it a name hello, and then in order to display the legend we need to add the program that is s dot legend, and we need to open and close the round brackets. So here you can see the data is plotted, and we can also see the legend hello. So there are many additional things in line chart, that is line width, the line style and color of the line. So now we'll see how we can add those things. So first we'll do with line style. Program for that is line style is equal to the line style name, that will be enclosed in double inverted comma. So that is dash dot. So there are many line styles. I'll give the link for all the line styles in the description below. So now you can see the line style changed. So same, we can also do double plotting in line chart. So now we'll see how we can plot two different lines in line chart. In order to do this, we'll plot the data again, s dot plot, and we'll add the data. So let's add it 14 into 56, and that would be 45 into comma. Okay, so now we'll add the label. Let's keep it class 11th A, and let's change this label as class 11th B. Okay, so now we will just keep the line style as, so let's keep the line style as dotted. Let's keep it dash dot only, dash dot. And now let's change the color of the lines. That would be color is equal to the name of the color, that is yellow, and let's keep this color as red. So now let's see how the data would be plotted. So now you can see there are two lines, that is 11th B and 11th A. So the color of both the lines are also changed. One is red and another is yellow. So this way you can plot double line charts in one line chart only. And you can do many other things. Programming is Python, and any programming is not more learning, it's more exploring. You learn the basics from somewhere, and then you explore yourself, explore your techniques, and you can do great things. It's not all about learning, everything cannot be learned. More is exploring. Now we'll do a practice question with line chart. The question is, display multiple line charts to draw the comparison between student score in IP and English subject for 5 students. So I have already written the code to save the time. So let me copy the code and explain you how it will work. So here we imported the Matplotlib library and gave it a name as S. So now we are not completely entering the data in the plotting, we are defining two different we are defining two different lists, and then we'll be plotting the data. So here I have used a unique way to do that. So I am taking the user input by in a single string, and I'll be splitting that data with the help of comma. So if a user will enter the names like Saurabh, comma Kashish, comma Karan, so it will be split with the help after the comma, and we'll have different values. Same way I'm taking the string 2, that is the student IP marks, and that is string 3, that is student marks in English. So now we'll plot the data. When we'll plot the data, in the x-axis I'll keep the student name. In the y-axis I'll keep the student IP, student underscore IP, that's the student marks in IP. Then I've defined the color as blue, line width as 3, line style as dash dot, and label is equal to IP marks. And in the same way we'll plot another data, that is student name, student English, color that's black, line width 3, line style dash dot. So here the data is from user input, so we have taken the input method also to take the data from the user. So I'll be taking a single string and will be splitting it after comma. So now let's see how this code will work. So it's asking for student name, so let's keep the student name. Karan, and so let's keep their marks. So let's keep their marks in English. So here we did one mistake, that after 75 also I put one comma and the data was not processed. So let's do it again. So that would be sg comma th. These are some variables. 45, here now you can see the data is plotted. The English marks is the black line and IP marks is the blue line. We can also check it, like you can see 45, that is the SG marks in IP. So here 45 is the IP marks in SG that is getting, and English he is getting 50, he is getting 54, so it will start in 54. The data is plotted. So you can do many things in Python. You can plot multiple data, you can change the line width, line style, you can add labels, you can do multiple plotting. It's upon your imagination. So now let's get started with pie chart. I have already written the code to save time. So the first step for doing the pie chart is same. We need to import Matplotlib library. Then here we need two datas. That is the data that will go inside the pie chart. That is a numeric data. That is the height here, and then we need the labels of that data, that is the names of the student. So here we are displaying the height of 4 children with the help of pie chart. So plotting of pie chart is very simple. Instead, like we did in line chart, p dot plot, in pie chart we need to do the variable that we have defined format dot, here it's g dot pie. Then we need to add the data that will go inside the pie chart, that is the numeric data, that is height. Then we need to add the labels. So the labels is student name. Then same we need to add the program to show the data. So this was pie chart. Here we could see 4 different datas with the help of pie chart. In pie chart there is one thing that we cannot plot two double datas. Like we did in line chart, we plotted two different lines, but in pie chart we cannot plot two datas, we can plot only one data, and this is pie chart. Now we'll work with the last module of this video, that is the bar graph. So in bar graph also we need two data, that one will go on the x-axis and another will go on the y-axis. So here we are creating, the first step will always be the same, importing Matplotlib library and give it a name. So here before the plotting we are creating the data that will be used. Instead of writing all the data in the plot where we plot the data, that is g dot bar, we can create two different dictionaries, or we can create two different lists, and we can give the names of that list in the plotting. So here we have created two different lists. One list is the student name that has Aman, Satyam, Karan and Kashish, and then we have height of those children, that is the numeric data that will go on by axis. So now for plotting the bar graph, we'll have to add a G, that is the name of the Matplotlib library given, and G dot bar. Bar is the program that we will do for plotting the bar graph. So that would be G dot bar. Then this is the x-axis, that is the student name, and this is the y-axis, that is the student height. And here we can change the color of the bar as we did in the line chart, and we need to add the x and y labels. These are the additional things. The data can be plotted without the x and y labels, without the color. So this is for the more understanding of the data. So now let's see how it's plotted. So now you can see the data is plotted. Now let me show you how we can change the color. Let me change the color of the data. Here you can see the color changed to yellow. Same way we can add the title of the data, that would be student data. So here the title came. Same way we can have in horizontal bar graph. There are no changes in horizontal bar graph in plotting, just we need to add alphabet, that is H. So for horizontal bar graph, the program would be g dot bar H, and the data would be horizontal bar graph. So it will not, the you can see everything is same in horizontal and vertical bar graph, just you need to add bar H in horizontal, and in vertical bar graph it would be bar. So this is the data. Now we'll see the most interesting part of this video, that is double data plotting with the help of NumPy and Matplotlib library. Now we'll see double data plotting with the help of bar graphs. Now why we are using NumPy? We are using NumPy to define the position of the bars, because if we will not define the position of the bars, then it would become a stacked bar graph. To create a differentiated bar graph, we need NumPy in it. So as we imported Matplotlib library, we'll also import NumPy and give it a name. I have given NP, and same we'll be creating the data. So we'll create the data here. So X is defined as the student name, and another two datas are the IP and English marks. So now the data, we need to plot two different data, so we need to define the position of the data. So x axis, we are first arranging the data and we are giving it a position. So here when we put len x, so the data would be arranged in the form of 1, 2 and 3 and 4, because this data would be arranged in the form of four different positions. So position would become 1, 2, 3 and 4. The center of all the positions, center of all the x-axis. So here it would be so that it the position was first become the center of all the four data plotted. So now we'll change the position by minus 0.2 and plus 0.2. When we'll do minus 0.2, one bar will go left inside and another will go right inside, because we are subtracting it from the x, that is the initial position, and we are adding it to the initial position. So one will go to the positive side of the initial position and another will go to the negative side of initial position. So here you can see the data that is plotted. So the data is, one bar is on the right hand side and another is on the left hand side, and the center is the center is lying where both the bars meet. So this is the data how we plot double data with the help of NumPy and Python. So here the code would be same, plotting would also be same. We'll plot it with plt.bar, and here we need to add the width of the data also. The here this is the position and this is the width, and here uh, same way that we are doing with normal bar graph, just we have added NumPy to set the position of the bar. So with the help of np.lenx, we are first uh, setting four positions. That would be the initial position, that is Saurabh, Sahil, Sun and Candy. So here the line is coming, these are the initial positions, and these are the initial positions. So the bar would be shifted 0.2 minus and 0.2 plus. So these are the initial positions, and and this is the final position that we are getting after that. So at last I'll say that you can do many things with the help of Python, NumPy, Matplotlib library. Learning basics is important, the rest is all your creativity. Thank you.